The incident. In a vibrant city filled with bustling streets and bright lights, there stood a luxury store named Elegance and Style. The store was known for its high-end clothing and exclusive accessories. People from all walks of life dreamed of shopping there. But today, the atmosphere was tense inside the store. Mr. Davis, the store manager, was a man who took pride in his job. He believed he was the guardian of the store's reputation. He thought he knew what kind of customers belonged in Elegance and Style. As he looked out from his office, he saw a black woman named Lisa walk through the doors. She was dressed simply, wearing a comfortable pair of jeans and a plain t-shirt. Mr. Davis frowned. "Does she think she can just walk in here?" he muttered to himself. He quickly stood up and decided to confront her. Lisa had entered the store with a smile on her face. She had always dreamed of visiting Elegance and Style, and today was her chance. She wanted to check out a beautiful dress she had seen online for her sister's wedding. As she wandered through the aisles, she marveled at the elegant dresses and shiny accessories. It was a dream come true. However, her excitement was short-lived. Mr. Davis approached her, his expression stern. "Excuse me, but I think you need to leave," he said, crossing his arms. His tone was sharp and unkind. Lisa was taken aback. "I'm sorry, but I'm just looking for a dress for my sister's wedding," she replied, trying to keep her composure. Mr. Davis shook his head. "This store is for special customers. You don't belong here," he said coldly. Lisa felt her heart sink. She had never faced such disrespect before. "Please, I just want to shop," she said, her voice trembling slightly. But Mr. Davis was unmoved. "I have to ask you to leave," he insisted. "You're making the store look bad." Lisa turned to walk away, tears welling in her eyes. She couldn't believe what had just happened. As she reached the door, she pulled out her phone and made a call. Mr. Davis couldn't help but overhear her conversation. "Hello? Yes. I'm outside the store. I'll be there soon. I just had an incident at Elegance and Style," she said, her voice steady despite her emotions. Mr. Davis raised an eyebrow, curious but dismissive. Who could she possibly be calling? He thought to himself. She's probably just a nobody. As Lisa stepped outside, she took a deep breath to calm herself. She had been excited to visit this store, but now she felt humiliated. What Mr. Davis didn't know was that Lisa was not just any customer. She had an important role in the community. After leaving the store, Lisa met up with her friends at a nearby cafe. They could see that something was wrong. "What happened?" one of her friends asked, noticing the upset look on Lisa's face. "I went to Elegance and Style, and the manager kicked me out. He said I didn't belong there," Lisa explained, her voice shaking. Her friends were furious. "That's ridiculous. You have every right to shop there," another friend said, clenching her fists. "I know," Lisa replied, wiping a tear away. "But he didn't even give me a chance to explain why I was there." As they talked, Lisa shared her plan to confront Mr. Davis. She was not going to let this incident go unchallenged. She felt empowered by her friend's support. They decided that Lisa should return to the store and stand up for herself. "Let's show him he can't treat people like that," one of her friends exclaimed, filled with determination. Lisa nodded, feeling the fire of motivation growing within her. Meanwhile, back at Elegance and Style, Mr. Davis was in his office, feeling pleased with himself. He thought he had done a good job protecting the store from what he saw as trouble. He did not realize the consequences of his actions. As he went through the day's sales reports, he kept thinking about Lisa. "What a shame," he thought. "Some people just don't know their place." Little did he know, the consequences of his actions were about to unfold in ways he could never imagine. Lisa returned to the store, her heart racing with determination. She wanted to confront Mr. Davis and make him understand the impact of his words. She gathered her courage and walked in again, this time holding her head high. As she entered, Mr. Davis noticed her immediately. His expression changed from confidence to surprise. "What are you doing back here?" he asked, trying to maintain his authority. "I'm here to talk to you," Lisa replied firmly. "You treated me poorly, and I won't let that slide." The air in the store felt heavy as customers turned to watch the scene unfold. Mr. Davis was caught off guard, unsure of how to respond. He could feel the eyes of the other shoppers on him, and for the first time, he felt a twinge of doubt about his actions. The moment was tense. Lisa stood tall, ready to speak her truth. She knew this was her chance to make a difference, not just for herself, but for others who might face the same disrespect. As the scene unfolded, Lisa's friends quietly joined her at the entrance, offering their support. They stood behind her, united in their determination to change how people were treated in places like Elegance and Style. The incident had sparked something bigger than just a disagreement. It was about respect and dignity. Lisa was prepared to take a stand, and Mr. Davis was about to learn an important lesson about judgment and acceptance. The story was just beginning, and the air was filled with anticipation as they prepared for the confrontation that would change everything. The confrontation. As Lisa stood firm inside Elegance and Style, the tension in the air grew thicker. Customers stopped their shopping and turned to watch, sensing that something significant was about to unfold. Lisa's friends flanked her, providing a reassuring presence. "Mr. Davis," Lisa began, her voice steady but filled with emotion, "what you did today was not just wrong. It was disrespectful. I came in here as a customer, hoping to find a dress for my sister's wedding, but you treated me like I didn't belong." Mr. Davis, taken aback by Lisa's confrontation, hesitated. He glanced around, noticing the eyes of the shoppers upon him. "I didn't mean to offend you," he stammered, his confidence wavering. "I just thought." Lisa cut him off, her determination igniting. "You thought what? That I didn't fit your idea of a typical customer? This store should welcome everyone, regardless of how they look or what they wear. You can't judge someone based on appearances." A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. Customers began to nod, some even pulling out their phones to record the interaction. The atmosphere was shifting. People were starting to side with Lisa. "I'm not just any customer, Mr. Davis," she continued, her voice rising slightly. "I'm someone who believes in equality and respect. And if you think I'm going to let your judgment slide without speaking up, you're mistaken." Mr. Davis felt the heat of embarrassment creeping up his neck. He was the store manager, and he was used to being in control. "Look, he tried to say, but Lisa wasn't finished. "You need to understand the impact of your actions. You're in a position of power, and that comes with responsibility. You should be setting an example, not reinforcing harmful stereotypes." Lisa's words resonated with the crowd. Many had experienced similar treatment in various stores. They began to murmur their support for Lisa, echoing her sentiments of unity and respect. "I've heard stories about how people have been treated in this store, and it's not right." A woman from the crowd spoke up, her voice clear. "We come here to shop, not to be judged or insulted." Mr. Davis shifted uneasily, realizing he was losing control of the situation. The realization hit him like a wave. The people he dismissed were standing together, demanding respect. "Maybe I didn't handle things the best way," he admitted reluctantly, feeling the weight of the moment pressing down on him. "But I thought I was protecting the store's image." "Protecting it from what?" Lisa challenged. "From diversity. From customers who may not fit your narrow view. Elegance and Style should embrace everyone, not exclude them." The crowd was fully engaged now, some customers even clapping in agreement. Lisa could feel the energy shifting in her favor. "I want to see this store become a place where everyone feels welcome. You can be part of that change, Mr. Davis." With a deep breath, Lisa continued, "It's time to recognize that our community is diverse, and we should celebrate that. You have a chance to turn this around." Just then, a man in a suit stepped forward from the back of the store. He had been quietly observing the situation unfold. "I couldn't help but overhear," he said, his voice calm yet commanding. "I'm a regular customer here, and I've seen how people are treated. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. Mr. Davis's eyes widened as he recognized the man. He was one of the store's most influential customers, known for advocating for inclusivity. I understand the importance of welcoming everyone, the man continued. But this store needs to change its culture, starting from the top. The crowd erupted in applause, and Mr. Davis could feel the walls closing in on him. He realized that he had underestimated Lisa and the community he was supposed to serve. "I want to make things right," Mr. Davis said, his voice shaking slightly. "I'll start by issuing an apology." Lisa felt a rush of hope at his words. "An apology is a start," she replied, her tone softening. "But it's about more than just words. It's about actions. You need to train your staff on how to treat every customer with respect and dignity." "Absolutely," the suited man added. "It's essential to create a welcoming environment for everyone." As Mr. Davis nodded, Lisa could see a shift in his demeanor. The defensiveness was fading, replaced by a sense of understanding. Perhaps he was beginning to realize the gravity of his mistake. The crowd watched intently, eager for Mr. Davis's next move. "I'll arrange training sessions for my staff," he promised, looking directly at Lisa. "I want to make sure this doesn't happen again." Lisa smiled, feeling a wave of relief wash over her. "Thank you," she said sincerely. "That means a lot to me and to everyone else who deserves respect." As the crowd began to disperse, there was a sense of camaraderie in the air. People exchanged smiles and words of encouragement. Lisa felt proud of herself for standing up and making a difference, however small it may be. "Let's work together to ensure this store becomes a place where everyone feels valued," Lisa suggested. "We can create a community that celebrates diversity." Mr. Davis nodded, determination shining in his eyes. "I'll do my best to make it happen," he promised. The incident had sparked change, and Lisa was ready to lead the way. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was hopeful for the future. With her friends by her side and a newfound sense of purpose, she was prepared to take on whatever challenges lay ahead. The story was far from over. What started as a confrontation had turned into an opportunity for growth. Lisa knew that together, they could create a brighter, more inclusive future for elegance and style and beyond. The unveiling. Days turned into weeks after the incident at Elegance and Style, and Lisa's resolve to bring about change only grew stronger. The promise made by Mr. Davis to improve the store's environment resonated with her. She felt a sense of responsibility not only for herself, but for every person who had faced unfair treatment. Lisa decided to take action. She reached out to her friends, who had been by her side during the confrontation. They organized a community meeting to discuss how they could support each other and ensure that incidents like hers would not be forgotten. The meeting took place in a local community center, where chairs were arranged in a circle. People from different backgrounds came together, each with their own stories to share. As Lisa stood in front of the group, she felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. "Thank you all for coming," Lisa began, her voice steady. "I believe we can make a difference in our community. What happened at Elegance and Style wasn't just about me. It was about all of us." The crowd nodded, and Lisa continued. "We need to create a support network where everyone feels safe and respected. Let's come up with ideas on how to address discrimination and promote inclusivity." A woman named Sarah, a frequent shopper at Elegance and Style, spoke up first. "I've been treated poorly in stores before, too. It's exhausting. I want to help make a change. I've also noticed that stores often don't reflect the diversity of our community," said another attendee, Mark. "We need to advocate for businesses to hire diverse staff." As the ideas flowed, Lisa felt a surge of energy in the room. They brainstormed ways to reach out to local businesses, create awareness campaigns, and even hold workshops on inclusivity. One suggestion sparked a fire in Lisa's heart: a community event at Elegance and Style. They could invite local artists and creators to showcase their work, turning the store into a celebration of diversity and talent. "That's a fantastic idea." Lisa exclaimed, her eyes lighting up. We can show the community that elegance and style is more than just a store. It's a place that embraces everyone. As the meeting continued, plans started to take shape. They would call the event Celebrate Us and invite people to share their stories, art, and culture. The atmosphere in the room was electric, and Lisa felt the support of her friends and neighbors lifting her spirits. Meanwhile, across town at Elegance and Style, Mr. Davis was working hard to keep his promise. After the confrontation with Lisa, he attended diversity training sessions and sought guidance from community leaders. He understood that the store needed to change, not just on the surface, but fundamentally. Mr. Davis realized that he could no longer run the store with the same old mindset. He began to foster an environment where employees felt empowered to speak up and share their ideas. He also organized meetings with staff to discuss their experiences and how to improve customer interactions. One afternoon, Mr. Davis called a meeting with his team. "I want to apologize for the way things have been in the past," he said, sincerity in his tone. "We need to embrace everyone who walks through our doors, regardless of their background. We are committed to making this store a welcoming place." As he spoke, he noticed the expressions on his employees' faces change from skepticism to hope. They had felt marginalized in their own workplace, and now they were being encouraged to contribute to change. "Let's brainstorm ways to make our store more inclusive," he urged. "We can create an atmosphere where every customer feels valued." The team engaged in meaningful discussions, bringing forth ideas for training sessions, outreach programs, and community involvement. For the first time, Mr. Davis felt a true sense of collaboration among his staff. Back at the community center, Lisa and her friends were finalizing the details for Celebrate Us. They set a date for the event, and excitement filled the air. Lisa couldn't wait to see how the community would respond to the invitation. The following week, Lisa visited Elegance and Style to meet with Mr. Davis. She wanted to discuss the upcoming event and ensure that the store would be actively participating. As she walked through the doors, she noticed the change in atmosphere. The staff greeted her with smiles, and there was a sense of camaraderie among them. "Welcome back, Lisa," Mr. Davis exclaimed, his enthusiasm evident. "I'm excited to hear more about Celebrate Us. We're ready to be a part of it." Lisa felt a wave of relief. "I'm glad to hear that. We want this event to showcase the diversity of our community, and it would be great to have your support." Mr. Davis nodded. "We'll set up displays for local artists, and I can even arrange for refreshments. This is a chance for us to show our commitment to change." As they discussed the details, Lisa felt a connection forming. Mr. Davis was no longer just the manager. He was becoming an ally. Together, they envisioned how the event could transform not only the store, but also the community's perception of elegance and style. As the event day approached, the buzz around Celebrate Us grew. Flyers were posted, and social media was abuzz with anticipation. Lisa was thrilled to see people from all backgrounds expressing their excitement. On the day of the event, the store was filled with energy. Local artists displayed their work, musicians performed, and food from different cultures filled the air with delicious aromas. Lisa looked around, proud of what they had accomplished. This wasn't just a celebration. It was a statement of unity. People chatted, laughed, and shared stories, reinforcing the sense of community that had blossomed. As the evening drew to a close, Lisa took a moment to reflect. The journey had started with a confrontation, but it had evolved into something beautiful. The store was no longer just a retail space. It had become a hub for connection and inclusivity. With smiles on their faces, Lisa and Mr. Davis stood side by side, watching the community come together. They knew that this was just the beginning, and together they would continue to foster a culture of respect and acceptance at Elegance and Style and beyond. The story of change was unfolding, and Lisa was determined to ensure that it would resonate for years to come. The community comes together. The aftermath of Celebrate Us rippled through the community like a wave. Lisa felt a surge of pride as she watched people from all walks of life come together, share their stories, and celebrate their differences. The event had transformed elegance and style from just a retail store into a symbol of unity and respect. In the weeks that followed, the store saw a remarkable increase in foot traffic. Customers expressed their gratitude for the changes they noticed in the store's atmosphere. Many even shared their stories of feeling welcome and valued, something that had been lacking before. Lisa was thrilled to hear this feedback, knowing that their hard work was paying off. Mr. Davis was equally pleased. He had implemented new staff training sessions focused on diversity and inclusion. Every employee learned how to interact with customers respectfully, regardless of their background. This training created a more positive environment for both staff and shoppers. One afternoon, Lisa received an email from a local news outlet. They had heard about Celebrate Us and wanted to feature the event and its impact on the community in a segment. Lisa could hardly contain her excitement. This was an opportunity to highlight their journey and inspire others to take action in their own communities. On the day of the interview, Lisa arrived at the store early. She wanted to ensure everything was perfect. As the camera crew set up, she noticed Mr. Davis talking with employees, encouraging them to share their thoughts about the changes. When it was time for the interview, Lisa stood in front of the camera, her heart racing. She wanted to convey the importance of what had happened at Elegance and Style. "Thank you for being here," Lisa began, her voice steady. "Our community came together to celebrate our diversity, and it was a beautiful reminder of how much stronger we are when we support each other." The interviewer nodded, intrigued. What was the motivation behind Celebrate Us? Lisa explained, "After my experience at the store, I wanted to create a space where everyone felt welcomed and respected. We realized that change begins with conversations, and that's exactly what happened." As she spoke, the interviewer asked about Mr. Davis and his role in the transformation. Lisa smiled. "Mr. Davis has been incredibly supportive. He listened to our concerns and took action. Together, we're working to ensure that Elegance and Style represents our community." Meanwhile, as the interview progressed, a crowd began to gather outside the store. People were curious to see what was happening. Word had spread that the local news was covering the store's positive changes. Once the interview wrapped up, the crew started filming the bustling store and the diverse customers shopping happily. Lisa felt a swell of hope as she watched families, friends, and neighbors enjoying their time together. Later that week, the news segment aired. Lisa sat anxiously in her living room, surrounded by friends and family. When the segment began, she felt her heart race. The news anchor introduced the story about Elegance and Style and the changes it had undergone. The segment showcased footage from the event, highlighting joyful moments of people interacting, sharing their cultures, and celebrating their differences. When the camera focused on Lisa speaking passionately about the importance of inclusivity, she felt a wave of pride wash over her. As the segment concluded, the news anchor encouraged viewers to support businesses that promote diversity and respect. Lisa's phone buzzed with messages from friends and community members, praising her efforts and sharing how inspired they felt. One message stood out. "I'm so proud of you, Lisa. You've shown that one voice can create a wave of change." With the community's support behind her, Lisa felt more determined than ever. She and Mr. Davis started planning for future events, hoping to make Celebrate Us an annual occasion. As they brainstormed ideas, Lisa suggested, "What if we include workshops next time? We could teach people how to stand up against discrimination and promote respect." Mr. Davis agreed enthusiastically. "That's a great idea. We can invite speakers who have experienced similar challenges and learn from their stories." The planning process sparked new energy among the staff. They started discussing how they could incorporate art, music, and culture into the next event. It was clear that the spirit of unity had ignited a fire within everyone involved. In the following months, the positive changes at Elegance and Style continued to flourish. The store became a go-to destination not just for shopping, but also for community events and gatherings. People felt comfortable coming in, knowing they would be treated with kindness and respect. Lisa's role in the store expanded beyond being just a customer. She became a trusted advocate for inclusivity, and many looked to her for guidance. One day, a young girl named Mia approached Lisa while she was at the store. "You're the one who helped make things better here, right?" she asked, her eyes wide with admiration. Lisa smiled warmly. "I just did what I thought was right. Mia, you can make a difference too. Every little action counts." Mia's face lit up. "I want to help. Can I join you in planning for the next event?" Lisa felt a sense of joy at Mia's enthusiasm. "Absolutely. We can always use more voices to help us plan. You're part of this community too." As the seasons change, preparations for the next Celebrate Us event began to take shape. Lisa, Mr. Davis, and the community worked tirelessly to ensure it would be an even bigger success than the last. With each passing day, the bonds among the community members grew stronger. They were learning to celebrate their differences and to stand together against discrimination. Lisa felt fulfilled, knowing they had turned a painful experience into a powerful movement for change. The future looked bright, and she was ready to continue fighting for a world where everyone was treated with dignity and respect. With the next event on the horizon, Lisa knew that they were just getting started. The spirit of unity would continue to inspire and uplift everyone involved, and the story of change at Elegance and Style would resonate for years to come. The shocking revelation. As the weeks rolled on, excitement built for the upcoming Celebrate Us event. Lisa and the team at Elegance and Style had been busy organizing workshops, activities, and guest speakers. The community buzzed with anticipation, eager to see what this year's event would bring. However, amidst the preparations, Lisa felt a nagging worry. Could they truly maintain the spirit of unity they had created? One sunny afternoon, while preparing the store for a special promotional sale, Lisa noticed something unusual. A group of young women entered the store, whispering and pointing at some of the items. Lisa recognized one of them as Jenna, the luxury store manager who had previously kicked her out. Jenna's presence made Lisa tense, but she decided to stay calm and continue her work. As the women browsed, Lisa overheard snippets of their conversation. They were discussing the upcoming event, and Lisa's heart sank as she heard Jenna say, "I can't believe they think this is going to change anything. This store will never be successful with all these changes." Stung by Jenna's words, Lisa approached the group with a smile, determined to keep the atmosphere friendly. "Hi there. Are you enjoying the store?" Jenna rolled her eyes but replied sarcastically, "Oh, it's just lovely." "So different." Lisa maintained her composure. "We're really excited about the event next week. We're working hard to create a space where everyone feels welcome." Jenna smirked, crossing her arms. "Good luck with that. It'll take more than just a fancy event to change people's minds." Feeling frustrated but refusing to let Jenna's negativity affect her, Lisa replied, "Change starts with us. We're making progress, and that's what matters." Jenna scoffed, but Lisa walked away, not wanting to engage further. She felt a mix of disappointment and determination. The negativity of some people wouldn't overshadow the positive changes they were trying to achieve. Later that evening, as Lisa closed the store, she received a call from Mr. Davis. "Hey Lisa, I wanted to talk to you about something important." Lisa could sense the urgency in his voice. "What's going on?" "I just received a call from a news station. They want to do a follow-up story on our Celebrate Us event, but there's a catch," he explained. "What do you mean?" Lisa asked, curious. "They've heard about some resistance from certain groups in the community, particularly from Jenna and her friends. They want to highlight both sides of the story in their coverage." Lisa's heart raced. "Do you think they're trying to create drama? We want to focus on positivity, not negativity." "I know, but we can't ignore the fact that not everyone is on board with our mission," Mr. Davis said. "We need to be prepared for tough questions. This could be our chance to show how committed we are to inclusivity." After their conversation, Lisa spent the night tossing and turning, worried about the potential backlash. Would this event still promote the unity they envisioned, or would it turn into a battleground of opinions? She knew they had to stay focused on their goal. As the day of the event approached, the team prepared for every scenario. They worked tirelessly to ensure everything was perfect, but the weight of Jenna's comments hung over Lisa's head like a storm cloud. On the morning of Celebrate Us, excitement filled the air as people began to gather. Families brought picnic baskets, children laughed, and the sounds of music floated through the park where the event was held. Lisa felt a surge of hope seeing the community come together. As the event kicked off, Lisa took a moment to step back and absorb the atmosphere. Everything seemed to be going well, until she spotted Jenna lurking near the entrance. Determined to not let her ruin the day, Lisa took a deep breath and approached her. "Jenna, I didn't expect to see you here. Are you interested in joining us?" Jenna shrugged, a smirk on her face. "I'm just here to see what all the fuss is about. It looks like a circus." Lisa clenched her fists, trying to keep her cool. "This is a celebration of our community. It's about respect and understanding. We invite everyone to participate." Before Jenna could respond, a commotion caught their attention. A few people were gathered around the stage, and Lisa felt her heart race. What was happening? As she rushed over, she realized the crowd was watching a young boy speaking passionately about the importance of diversity. He shared his experiences and the struggles he faced at school. His words resonated with everyone, and Lisa felt pride swell in her chest. But then Jenna stepped forward, raising her voice to be heard above the crowd. "This is ridiculous. You think a bunch of speeches are going to change anything? You're just making fools of yourselves." Gasps echoed from the crowd. Lisa felt the tension rise. She needed to respond, to defend not only the event but the spirit of unity they had worked so hard to create. "Jenna, we're here to uplift each other, to celebrate our differences. If you don't want to join us, that's fine, but you don't have to belittle those who do," Lisa asserted. Jenna's eyes narrowed, but before she could retort, Mr. Davis stepped in. "Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but let's remember why we're here today. We're all part of this community, and we can learn from one another." Jenna scoffed, but the crowd murmured in agreement. Lisa felt a wave of support wash over her. She realized they were not just a group of individuals, but a united force, standing strong against negativity. The event continued, with laughter, music, and connection flourishing. Lisa felt relieved, knowing that the community was responding positively, despite the disruptions. But deep down, she knew that this was just the beginning. As the sun began to set, Lisa made a vow to herself. They would continue to advocate for change, even when faced with resistance. The journey was far from over, and she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, united with her community. With the energy of the day fueling her, Lisa felt optimistic about the future. They were on the right path, and together, they could create a world where everyone felt valued and respected. A turning point. As the sun set on the Celebrate Us event, Lisa felt a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. The day had been filled with laughter, speeches, and a sense of togetherness that warmed her heart. However, she also knew that challenges were still ahead, especially with Jenna's lingering negativity. A few days after the event, Lisa received a surprising phone call from a local news station. They wanted to interview her about the success of Celebrate Us and how it had impacted the community. Excitement bubbled inside her, but she also felt the weight of responsibility. This was a chance to showcase their hard work and the importance of unity, but she couldn't ignore the potential for backlash. On the day of the interview, Lisa prepared herself thoroughly. She practiced her talking points, reminding herself to emphasize the positive outcomes of the event. She wanted to highlight the stories shared by community members and the connections made that day. With each step she took toward the studio, her confidence grew. When she arrived, the host greeted her warmly. "Welcome, Lisa. We're excited to hear about your event. It sounds like it was a huge success." "Thank you. It was an incredible experience for everyone involved," Lisa replied, her voice steady. As the interview began, the host asked about the motivation behind Celebrate Us. Lisa spoke passionately, sharing how the event aimed to foster understanding and respect among all community members. She felt the momentum building, and for a moment, she forgot about Jenna and her criticisms. Now, Lisa, we've heard some mixed reviews about the event. There are those who believe it didn't truly address the issues in our community. What do you say to that? The host probed. Lisa paused, taking a deep breath. This was the moment she had prepared for. I believe that change starts with conversation. Celebrate Us was just the beginning. It's about opening doors for dialogue and understanding. We can't solve everything overnight, but we can take steps together, she responded, her conviction clear. The host nodded, encouraging her to continue. Can you share a specific story from the event that stood out to you? With a smile, Lisa recounted the young boy's powerful speech about his experiences with discrimination. He was so brave to share his story. It touched everyone and reminded us that we all have a part to play in creating a more inclusive community, she said, her voice filled with emotion. As the interview progressed, Lisa felt more and more empowered. She spoke openly about the importance of empathy, respect, and the need to embrace diversity. Each word felt like a step toward healing the community and overcoming obstacles. After the interview, Lisa received an outpouring of support from viewers. Many took to social media to express their appreciation for the event and her commitment to making a difference. However, with this support also came criticism. Jenna had posted a video online criticizing the event and Lisa's approach. The video quickly went viral, drawing in more supporters for Jenna's viewpoint. Lisa is out of touch with reality, Jenna proclaimed in the video. She thinks one event can change the world. But we all know that's not how it works. She's just playing a game. Lisa felt her heart sink as she read the comments. Many people agreed with Jenna, questioning the effectiveness of Celebrate Us. Doubt crept into her mind, and she began to wonder if she could truly make a difference. In the following days, the negativity weighed heavily on her. Lisa decided to call a meeting with her team to discuss their next steps. She gathered everyone in the store, looking into the faces of those who had stood beside her through thick and thin. Thank you all for being here. I know there's been a lot of noise lately, especially from Jenna. Lisa began, her voice shaking slightly. I want to hear your thoughts on how we can move forward. We can't let her negativity define us. One of her team members, a young woman named Sarah, spoke up. Lisa, we can't ignore Jenna, but we also can't let her stop us from doing what we believe in. We have to keep pushing for change, even if it's hard. Encouraged by Sarah's words, others began to share their ideas. They brainstormed ways to counteract the negativity, focusing on upcoming community workshops and outreach initiatives. The atmosphere in the room shifted, transforming the doubt into determination. As they discussed their plans, Lisa felt a renewed sense of purpose. She realized that the support of her team and the community was far stronger than the negativity from Jenna. They were all committed to a common goal, and together, they could continue to foster understanding and respect. The following week, Lisa and her team organized a series of workshops aimed at educating the community on diversity, inclusivity, and empathy. They invited speakers from various backgrounds to share their stories and perspectives. The response was overwhelmingly positive, and attendance exceeded their expectations. At one of the workshops, Lisa noticed a familiar face in the audience. Jenna had shown up. Initially, Lisa felt anxious, but as she began to speak about the importance of understanding one another, she noticed a change in the room. People were engaged, asking questions, and sharing their own experiences. After the session, Jenna approached Lisa. I have to admit, I didn't think this would be effective, but I see how much it means to people, she said, her tone softer than before. Lisa looked at Jenna, surprised but hopeful. Thank you for being here. It's important that we all listen and learn from each other. I appreciate your willingness to come. Jenna nodded, and for the first time, Lisa felt a flicker of connection. Maybe this was a turning point, not just for Jenna, but for the entire community. As the weeks passed, the atmosphere began to change. More people started to engage in conversations about diversity and inclusion, and Lisa felt the momentum building. She knew there would still be challenges ahead, but with the support of her team and the community, she was ready to face them head-on. Together, they were not just promoting change. They were creating a movement rooted in understanding, respect, and love. Lisa felt a surge of hope for the future, knowing that with each step they took, they were making a difference in the world around them. A new beginning. As the last workshop concluded, Lisa felt a wave of relief and accomplishment wash over her. The discussions had sparked meaningful conversations, and attendees were eager to share their thoughts and stories. She knew that Celebrate Us was just the beginning of something much bigger. The community was starting to come together in ways she had only dreamed of. In the days following the workshops, the local media began to take notice. Lisa was invited to speak at various events, sharing the success of their initiatives. Each time she spoke, she could feel the energy in the room. People were hungry for change, and they were willing to be part of it. However, Jenna's earlier video continued to circulate. It sparked further debate online, and some people remained skeptical about the effectiveness of Lisa's efforts. While Lisa had initially found this disheartening, she realized that the conversation was necessary. The pushback meant people were thinking critically about the issues at hand. One evening, as Lisa was leaving her store, she spotted Jenna waiting outside. The tense atmosphere from their earlier interactions lingered in Lisa's mind. She hesitated but decided to approach her. "Hey, Jenna, I've seen your videos and wanted to talk," Lisa said, her voice steady. Jenna crossed her arms defensively. "What's there to talk about? You think one event can change things. I don't think it's just one event. It's about building momentum and starting a dialogue. I'm not expecting everyone to agree, but we can't ignore the issues," Lisa replied earnestly. Jenna shifted slightly, her expression softening. "I guess I've been too harsh, but I don't think your approach will work for everyone. I understand, but that's why we're opening up these discussions. Everyone's voice matters, even if we don't always see eye to eye," Lisa said, hoping to bridge the gap between them. Jenna nodded slowly. "Maybe I've been too focused on criticizing instead of listening. I appreciate you reaching out." Lisa smiled, feeling a glimmer of hope. "Let's keep the conversation going. We can all learn from each other." In the following weeks, Jenna began attending more of Lisa's events. She started to share her perspective in constructive ways, challenging Lisa's team to think critically while also contributing ideas. Their discussions sparked new initiatives, expanding the reach of their message. The community began to notice the shift. Lisa and Jenna, once adversaries, were now collaborating. People from different backgrounds felt encouraged to join the conversation. They started to understand that the road to change wasn't straightforward, but it was worth traveling together. One day, while planning a community festival to celebrate diversity, Lisa suggested a segment dedicated to sharing personal stories. "I think hearing each other's experiences can be powerful. It humanizes the issues," she said. Jenna chimed in. "What if we had a storytelling booth where people can share their experiences on video? We can create a digital archive of these stories to share online." Everyone loved the idea, and soon the festival took shape. The festival not only highlighted the cultural richness of the community, but also showcased the stories of resilience and hope. It became a space for healing and understanding, drawing in people from all walks of life. On the day of the festival, the atmosphere was electric. Colorful banners adorned the park, and laughter filled the air. Booths were set up, showcasing food, music, and art from various cultures. The storytelling booth attracted a line of people eager to share their stories. As Lisa walked through the festival, she felt a sense of pride and fulfillment. She saw families enjoying the activities, friends sharing meals, and strangers laughing together. It was a testament to the power of community and unity. When it came time for the storytelling segment, Lisa stood at the booth, ready to hear the first story. An older man approached, his eyes sparkling with memories. He began to share his journey from another country, detailing the struggles he faced and the kindness he received from the community. Lisa listened intently, moved by the depth of his experiences. After the man finished, he thanked Lisa for providing a platform. "It's important for us to share these stories. It reminds us we're not alone," he said, his voice filled with emotion. Throughout the day, more people shared their stories, each one unique yet connected by common threads of struggle and hope. Lisa realized that the festival was not just an event. It was a turning point for many. It fostered understanding, empathy, and a renewed commitment to working together. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the festival, Lisa gathered her team and Jenna. "We did it. Look at how far we've come," she exclaimed, her heart swelling with pride. Jenna smiled, her eyes shining. "This is just the beginning, Lisa. We've opened up a space for people to feel seen and heard. Let's keep it going." Lisa nodded, understanding that their work was far from finished. They would continue to face challenges, but together they were a force for change. With every story shared and every hand extended, they were building a bridge toward understanding. As the festival ended, Lisa felt a deep sense of gratitude. She looked around at the smiling faces, the laughter, and the connections forming. The journey had been difficult, but it had also been beautiful. Together, they were creating a future rooted in compassion, respect, and unity. Lisa knew that no matter the obstacles ahead, they would face them together, one story at a time. The community was evolving, and she was honored to be part of it. With renewed hope, Lisa looked forward to the next chapter of their journey, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead.